All right, you guys, welcome in. Welcome to the channel. If you're brand new here, hello. If you've been brought here by the title, which I don't know yet, then this is your message. I want to do an energy update today after Uranus has moved into Gemini for the divine feminine on the spiritual path. So let's see what's going on. I will bring in cards for the divine masculine to see what's happening on that score. But right now I'm going to be speaking to the collective of divine feminines who are drawn here by this title. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Answering the call. Oh yeah. The time is now. Journey by moonlight. That reminds me of Midsummer Night's Dream. I was talking about that just the other day. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. Ooh, I like this. And protected by angels. A couple of cards of protection here. And I got that in my own reading this morning for myself. So there's definitely, this is kind of like, I feel like the message right out of the gate here from Spirit is saying that this is a treacherous journey. More than you know, okay? More than you know or feel or understand right now. There's a lot going on. Okay, I can see that there's a lot going on the planet. I can see that there's a lot happening in my own personal life. But it's something about like more than you know. Like there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's more happening. There's more to it. Okay, than what you are seeing. But it does feel to me like it's very important that you handle your own needs, that you take care of yourself, that you not let that message of, hey, there's more going on than you think, pull your attention away from the good healing and grounding work you're doing right now. Don't allow, because you are protected, okay? And that does mean that the calling is calling. All right, no doubt about that. But there's something that requires you to be more focused on your own needs right now, focusing on grounding and staying centered, focusing on self-care, focusing on healing. It's sort of like an oxymoron that there's a lot of need for you right now, but we need you strong, I guess is what I'm saying to you. We need you strong. We don't need your attention divided. I'm talking to a group of divine feminines who are really in need of this healing moment. A lot of the retrogrades on an astrological level here, a lot of the retrogrades are pointing to going inward. That may feel, we've had Mars in Virgo, and that is very much the same idea, is like, okay, the action is inward. The action is on systems. The action is on health and well-being. All right. And then with the retrogrades, with Saturn going retrograde on the 12th and us having a full moon in Capricorn, releasing and letting go, journey by moonlight, releasing and letting go of the old overdoing. Believe in magic instead. Like you're going to, oh, wow. Okay. You're going to see a lot of the ability to manifest is going to become faster. The ability for you to call in what you need in terms of your own health and well-being, in terms of your own journey, going to be easier. There's something here about support is all around you, fellow travelers, protected by angels, because we're going to need you strong. We're still going to protect you, but you're also going to know that, the power is in some kind of download that you're going to be getting. The powerful message, the power, sitting in power. Some of you may be developing mediumship. That's a term from mediumship, that sitting in power is the way that you connect very strongly to the divine so that you can be of service. You're being of service to spirits who have passed over, and them trying to get messages through to the people who are still walking around in the 3D. There's something about that. I feel like that's a calling for some of you. I have definitely stepped back from my work in mediumship. It's going to get going again in the fall. Okay. So I can see that coming through for some. Oh, wow. Death, the card underneath, death, the Emperor. There's somebody's father energy is trying to come through here. Ace of Wands. I got this very strongly myself yesterday about like, good going. You got it. You finally figured it out. You've got it. If you have just broken through and like all this time you've been doing something this way, this way, this way, this way, because this is the way you were taught. If your father has passed over, I feel like I'm speaking to a group of divine feminines who are saying, yes, what you're doing right now, taking care of your own needs, what you're doing in order to protect your peace is correct. Father energy is Capricorn. Okay. And I am seeing it in the Emperor here too. Also the Hermit. Wow. Look at this. And then there's the Devil card. That is the Capricorn energy. So we're getting Virgo and Capricorn, two of the things. And then Mars, we just talked about Mars in Virgo. So there's something very healing with what you're doing. It's lighting the fire for the next chapter. So even though there's a lot of inward focus, this is really important. And it's like healing a relationship that has long been in need of your attention in a certain way. So all this time, maybe you've been seeking approval, seeking permission, wanting to build bridges, wanting to be a peacemaker. And then all of a sudden, this fiery rage comes up in you and says, no. Sorry for those of you wearing headphones. No, not doing that. Not doing that. I have come to this place to meet you here, to build relationship with you, and you have failed to meet me there at the point of vulnerability, empathy, kindness, generosity. No, I have come to that point time after time after time after time, and you have failed to meet me there. No. So there's a sense of rage, bringing things up to your conscious level that says, wow, all this time as an empath, I think that means I'm, supposed to be the one who's kind and generous and all of these things. And I don't doubt that that's what it means, but there's something super strong about the empath that says, no, I am not. Do not mistake my kindness, generosity, empathy for weakness. I feel like, wow, I feel like that's the energy on the planet right now. The divine feminine is saying, hey, this stops now. That is mama bear energy. That is divine feminine energy. Wow. Woo! I felt that coming through. There's also another energy here that is coming through. Ace of Cups and Two of Cups. I've seen this in a couple of different readings here, that there is a powerful counterpart, masculine, could be soulmate, doesn't need to be twin flame or anything like that, but that is going to then usher you through this chapter, not as a protector necessarily, but like teaching you more about the divine masculine energy. We've been witnessing so much toxic masculine energy. It's being purged. Okay, that's why we're seeing it. It's being purged. So now you're getting a new or a reminder of what the actual divine masculine energy feels like, because a lot of you have not had very good role models in that way. And a lot of you are mistaking masculine energy, like masculine is masculine energy. No, it's not. No, it's not. Masculine energy is not inherently toxic. That is a choice. Okay? That is a choice. What you're going to be witnessing now, or what is coming across your path, and you have a choice to embrace this or not, always, of course. I feel like we're going to see some really amazing, beautiful examples in our own personal life, in our public life, in our collective life of divine masculine. And how you'll know that is, it's not really the familiar thing that kind of triggers old patterns and self-abandoning behavior or anything like that. It doesn't trigger that. You're going to be like, wow, that's a breath of fresh air. So look for it. Look for it. It's coming. It's coming. 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, I love this. 8 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Boy, I feel like you're at the place where you've done a lot of good work and you're kind of like, why am I still having to go inward? Why am I still? It's not that well, okay, spoiler alert, the work is really never done. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is maintenance. All I see is Allen Iverson going, practice. We're talking about practice. And that was a quote. I think that happened in the 90s. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. Maybe not that long ago. I am not an NBA fan, so I don't really know. I just remember that rippled around the world because it was so obnoxious, frankly. Not divine masculine energy. Practice is about your teammates. Practice is about keeping your skills at a supple level. When you stop using something, it gets rusty and it can break. Okay? It gets rickety and rusty. You just need a little maintenance here of some of these skills. And I feel like that's some of the masculines that have fallen into this toxic masculinity are going to smash apart, are going to break apart, and are going to realize practice is what makes us divine masculines. Practice with kindness and empathy and generosity and compassion. That those things had stopped. And now there's something about the divine feminine practicing. It's hard to sustain rage. And there's no need to sustain rage. Rage is an invitation for healing that says, I'm furious that my boundaries were crashed through, but all this time I thought I was just supposed to be kind and generous about it. No. Not no more. 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, woo! King of Swords. Oh my God, I am getting a ton of spirit chills on this reading. You can see my legs are covered with goosebumps. 2 of Wands, there's their decision. There's that 10 of Wands, oppression, dominion, pleasure. 6 of Cups. So this healing of these misunderstandings within the two energy centers of divine feminine, masculine energy. There's no gender in spirit. We're just talking about energetic expression. Fair enough? So that when we exert our masculine, are we doing it with compassion and kindness and generosity? When we're exerting our feminine, are we doing it with mama bear? Are we doing it with okay, I am nurturing in a way that says, I want you to be the person you want to be. I am nurturing you and I am saying you go for it. I am saying I am not holding you back with my own needs or my own concerns about something that has nothing to do with me. You, me, we're all connected in spirit. But on this planet, sovereignty is important. And right now we're going to be learning this lesson. The Death and Rebirth card, the Ace of Wands, this fire. It's very hard to sustain passion or sustain fury or rage. At this point, it is a flag, like a green flag, that says, drill here. This is what you want. This is what you need, this mama bear energy that says, not on my watch. And what this does is the decision to offload this mistake of seeing empathy and kindness and generosity and compassion as weakness. Woo! You are going to find out how strong people are. And with all of those qualities, and can still be strong and powerful. You have failed to meet me at this crossroads of kindness and generosity, masculine, and I am going I am going to break through. I feel like a lot of divine feminine energies break through. I feel like a lot of masculines. I get this image of, I forget what show I was watching. I was watching something on, I don't know, Netflix or something. And they thought they had found the Holy Grail. It was like a clay cup, right? And they were all like, well, it should be gold if Christ drank from it. And, we know all the iterations of what we've been talking about with the Holy Grail for all this time. I'm saying this because here it is, the clay cup. And it falls and smashes, right? If you think about the Ace of Cups as just potential, or about the symbolism of the receptacle of Christ's compassionate, loving, like can't contain it in a cup. It falls and smashes, and the cup is actually gold, right? It's underneath all of that clay. And so I feel like that's what's going to be happening with the masculine, that somehow they're going to fall and smash, and underneath there is that gold. So pleasure here. And then this can, being, when I see people on TikTok, or I see them on Instagram or anything like that, and I really love this energy of like childlike play. I'm like, those are some of the strongest fuckers on the planet. That you can be out there and be playing and be joyful and have not had your spirit broken to the degree, this is about resilience. That's what resilience does. It picks you up off the ground and it dusts you off and says, I love you. Let's continue. You have something to do here. And that's what I'm here to do with you today, is to see that you have this protection, you have this kindness and generosity around you. It makes you stronger. Empathy is a superpower and will be shown to be so. 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. So I love this energy here of Sagittarian energy, of moving forward without boundaries, of getting out of our comfort zones and really seeing other people. This is actually Leo in this deck. There's Leo here. This Queen of Cups, Cancerian energy, like that mama bear, the lion roaring kind of thing. 9 of Pentacles, being very self-aware. So what I'm seeing for the divine feminine right now is this stepping into, look at her, stepping into this power triggered by rage that is going to be very healing and is going, like say what you need to say. So what is the situation here for the divine feminine? Then I'll pull some cards for the masculine. What is the situation here? 4 of Pentacles, power, strength. There's the 9 of Wands, the Star card of healing. There's the Chariot, about moving forward quickly. So this is about power and strength. You can see that right on those cards. This is the Sun and Moon deck. Power and strength, dynamism, the Leo energy of roaring. And that is the thing that's going to move things forward quickly with that Cancerian energy. I love it. So we're still in Cancer energy until later next week or the following week, I think it's Leo is the 23rd. So it's later. We have a new moon in Leo, which is going to be very interesting. We are going to also have Lionsgate in the beginning of August. Let's see what's going on for the masculine here. I've already talked a little bit about that cup smashing. What is happening for the masculine? Okay. Keep shuffling. What is happening for the masculine energy? Again, this is not gender. This is about energy on the planet. I'll talk a little bit more about the astrology in a second. We'll talk about Mars, because I've seen Mars here. And we'll talk about Venus. All right, so for the masculine, 7 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles, Tower. The Six of Wands underneath. What else is underneath? The Temperance card. That's good. This 10 of Wands. We're tempering those situations. Three of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Three of Wands. There's the Ace of Wands. So you're both getting this fiery expression. Ace of Wands, strength. Oh, so beautiful. Five of Cups. There's definitely a breakthrough for masculine coming. Look at that. This is more about being confused about where to put their resources, or let's think about it internally. Your masculine energy right now might be confused about where to spend time and energy. Tower. That is going to break open this idea that I have to do this all of myself, or that this is something that can be handled alone. I'm not dealing with my feminine energy. That is weak. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing about, and this whole thing about empathy being a weakness. I'm not doing that. I'm not being empathetic. But then I feel like the masculine sees, because this is, look at this, Three of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and the Three of Wands. There is no way forward without interconnection. We need each other. There is no way forward. And I feel like that's what the aha moment is, because this is the Strength card, and that is feminine power. There is no way forward. Five of Cups says there is something that's lost. There is something that's lost. And what is this loss for the masculine? High Priestess, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. So there's what's lost is an old way of determining power. The masculine energy is now understanding about empathy being a superpower, and that being in this, money is power thing, something that's dominating or has dominated for centuries, that is going to be healed. And it's because there is no way forward without us working together. And here's the Temperance card says, nobody is doing it all by themselves. Okay. So your masculine energy isn't going to be able to do it by itself. You can't just push through without feelings, without intuition. You're going to need to have those things. And your feminine energy can't just be in the energy of getting intuitive hits without taking some kind of action. There is no way forward without us being together, without us doing things together. There's no way forward alone. And so this integration of the masculine, feminine energies is going to become very obvious, very apparent. It's possible in your own personal world that there may be something that says, I want that energy. I want that. I cannot stand solely in this one energy. It's too lopsided. I'm not taking action, right? If I'm in too much in my compassion and empathy, I feel like a lot of the divine feminine energies, those of you who put yourself out there as a divine feminine energy, are really have embraced a divine masculine energy inside you. That's how you can take action. Now I think we're seeing it on the other side. This is something that likely Lionsgate Tower energy is usually like right now. So this is imminent. A breakthrough is imminent. All right. So let's keep going. I'm going to look at this in more depth. I am going to talk a little bit about Mars and Venus and where they are astrologically and how we might utilize the current transits for our own empowerment. All right. So if you want to continue on, if that's interesting to you, there's a link below. See you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.